Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to 999, the first of the Nonary Games. So, we've gone down this left path and unlocked all these keys, which were new conversations. Some of the conversations were talking about the Titanic having an Egyptian priestess that was cursed and it was constantly frozen, possibly with this magical ice nine that stays frozen at a higher temperatures, uh, and some of it really just being conversations that gets us closer to Clover, which has revealed that Clover was apparently on this ship 9 years ago, which I don't know, maybe there's been some manipulation of her age, and maybe they're trying to imply that she's 18 years old and she was kidnapped like 9 years ago when she was 9. Or maybe I mean, I guess it wouldn't really matter too much if she was kidnapped when she was 6 and then she'd be like 14 years old now. But we're not getting a lot of information there. Maybe if we go down this path into this ending, we will get more of a revelation. It does seem like the kidnapping plot somehow does now match with the Egyptian curse and the magical Ice Nine concept somewhat. We've also had a conversation specifically in this escape room where we've kind of confirmed and sided with Clover that we think it's probably Santa and Seven that worked together to kill her brother Snake. So we need to just play through this escape room and we'll see if we get any more conversation. I don't think we will. And then we need to just get through the next narrative section, and then once we're done with the next narrative section, like these little prompts pop up Clover and you just get the default stuff that we've already seen. It's not important stuff always at all. This door closed, which is interesting. So this is the dead. Where did they come in? Then, because we exit through this door. So you're trapped in this room where several other times you actually aren't trapped. Feels a little weird. And then the puzzle here was really complicated. We need... We'll just jump through this. We need to do... Not really click on all of this. We just need to stand on... Like, this doesn't ever get exposed. Bunch of wooden planks piled up underneath the window. I want to use this, and I think we just go in circles with this. So I think what we have to do is read the file. Let's see. And we'll have to do that also later. What's the other thing we need to do? Now there wouldn't be a path where you could have even thought for a second that you actually unlocked the engines and got them moving, and then you could come up to this point and actually move the ship around. Yeah, you're definitely not going to do that. So, how? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? What am I missing here? Pocket watch, this. So you just kind of have to click on everything, I guess, before you can activate this. Alright. So, is there any chance whatsoever that I'd remember what the movement was, though? No. So, let's see. Southwest. Then northwest. Then east. Then north. Okay. South. We're gonna just try this with west. Then northwest. Then east. Then north. Let's see. So, let's see. I did southwest, then northwest, and then east, and then north. Okay. So it's gotta be that this is a combination puzzle, and you have to do it this way. South, then this way to west. And then northwest, and then east, and then north. I think both options probably are the solution here, but this is a little investment-y. Yeah, it's not working. It's not opening up each of these drawers. Maybe you have to start this way. South, and then west, then northwest. Yeah, and I feel like the game is just gonna tell me what the answer is if I just fail enough times, instead of actually trying to bother to figure out what the part is that I'm missing here. Let's see. Ship's log. South. Oh, I'm doing it wrong, aren't I? Southwest, then southwest, then northwest, then east, then north. So no wonder this isn't working. South. And then west. Then southwest. Then northwest. Then east. And then north. So that time it did work, and it's not a combination lock really, because you can go either direction. You just have to stop in that order. Handle comes off. Okay. So now we have a handle to come and use on this. Okay. And then we need to look at the nautical table. So it's full, half slow, full, half dead, stop. So full, half slow, full, half dead, stop. Two puzzles that should have been in different places. And weirdness that you just never have a conversation with Ace. Like, it really feels like Ace shouldn't be in the story. It would be probably better if Ace's character was mixed in with Seven's character, even if that did mean at the end of the day that you would have to potentially like not get so much backstory from Seven, or just have Seven be Zero the killer. And here we're back to this fuzzy image. And so we set the clock to that time. And we're going to solve all these puzzles. And we're still not going to have a conversation, I don't think. Instead, we're just going to open this lock. Now, in other endings, other paths, Clover just decides to run away at some point, and that ends up getting people killed. But I'm still not really sure what ending we really are gonna actually end up with here. It still kind of feels like Clover is going to end up killing Santa and Seven. And I would think it would be a very weird story if it turned out that they were the killers.
Oh, a hallway. It's far too narrow to be called one.
So we've now got a conversation with Ace.
This seems to be the only route.
Yeah, let's go.
And this is going to take us to the next escape room very quickly.
Wow.
Like, we're already in the next escape room.
Well,
The real question is just what conversations we're going to have.
I've never seen any of them before. Huh?
And this is really the only path, it seems like, in which you
This one is
meet the captain. Wouldn't it be crazy if you had to like tap in the Morse code a
These were used to transmit
different
Morse
answer?
code a long time ago.
Like, I don't know how you would know what to tap in though.
This must be the communication office.
This is voice, so it seems like it's important.
And that door?
But I'm not sure it really is.
Captain's quarters. Huh.
That's what it says.
Then, do you think...
It would be funny if it turned out that Zero was just another player and he was forced to record the intro and explain the rules, and he wasn't particularly the person who kidnapped the people and started this whole path. And it kind of ruins this whole series if that really was Zero, because it would mean the other two games would have to be in a different timeline, or and it happened before this event. 0, 9, and 2 doesn't add up as a digital route to 9.
No, wait. We didn't check his pulse yet. Maybe he's still alive.
So we're just jumping through all this. I don't want to skip all this. I'm just going to let it play. There's a lot of description and a lot of dialogue here. But I'm not even really reading it myself at this point. This game has just exhausted my ability to pay attention and read. Like,
I wonder what killed him.
which is just more evidence that I shouldn't play visual novels. And
Must have been this.
definitely I don't think I would be suited to play one that is just a romance game. Like, I would be fine with a dating game if it was more of an adult thing that would keep my attention, but then I couldn't cover it on YouTube because it wouldn't be family friendly.
Captain.
But even in that case, an adult game would probably be a shorter version of a visual novel than a romance visual novel that is going to be just like teen or teen plus and more focused around a lot of conversation and character building. Yeah, I just don't think I'd have the patience for that.
It may be wise to find a way out.
You can see his bracelet maybe is a little bit loose on his wrist, but it doesn't really seem like it's open and fell off or anything. So that was a relatively short experience to jump between the previous escape room and this one. We have 2 keys, and if we don't get those 2 keys, I'm guessing we don't unlock this door. I think it's a fair assumption to assume that you have to get every single key. Either that, or it would be a case that you need to get some of these keys, but maybe not the other keys to get a good ending. That's questionable, though. There clearly is some kind of ending here that is extra, because there's only 5 depicted on the flow, and there's literally 6 or 7 of them depicted in the pause screen. Okay, so are we split? A music box. I don't think I looked at it. A music box before. Oh yeah, we did. little custom sound effect there. There's actually very few custom sound effects in this game. So we're with Clover. And Clover doesn't try to take... Yeah, she doesn't try to take the axe until people are already out of this room and you've escaped. Hospital room, a random hallway. Can we recognize that random hallway? Central staircase B deck. Small room, somewhere you don't recognize. C deck. Don't recognize this room either. Yeah, I think we've probably been to all these places. So now we're back to a conversation point. We found something important. Would it be possible to solve this puzzle completely without going into the other room? Maybe.
Z-E-R-O, huh? It's like he's making fun of us. What do you think?
So, will this give us a new line of dialogue, or did we miss something?
Nothing.
What about him? Do you think that's really Zero?
There's no way that's him. Didn't I tell you already? Zero is one of us.
So this is different conversation.
Yeah, right. Well, even if he wasn't one of us, there's no way that man could be Zero.
Huh?
Don't you get it? The letters that spell Zero on the TV screen, the captain's clothes he's got on, and of course, the bracelet with a zero on it. It's too obvious. Look, this is Zero right here. This dead body is Zero. Isn't that kind of fishy?
He makes a point.
You're right. Only an idiot wouldn't see through something like that.
No, that's not the point. So I'm not trying to make fun of them for thinking a trick like this would work. I'm sure they didn't think it would work, which makes me wonder.
Why did they do it?
This is a challenge. A challenge from the person who's really behind all of this. He's making fun of us. Don't you get it? If whoever killed this guy really wanted us to think this corpse was Zero, they'd never have put a bracelet on him. Walking around with a Zero bracelet would be like hanging a sign around your neck that said, "I did it!" Anyone with a brain would be able to see that this guy is supposed to look like everything Zero is supposed to be. Just like we did. The killer must have known we wouldn't think he was Zero and put the bracelet on him anyway. Do you know why?
Good question.
Why?
Like I said, he's mocking us.
No, because a zero number would unlock a door.
Too bad, suckers. This isn't Zero. Where's the real me then? See if you can catch me.
It's the same bad joke a lot of criminals like to play. They'll just sit back and watch people run in circles.
That's really twisted. But it almost seems kind of childish.
Yeah, you're right. It's really childish. It's like it's just a game to whoever this person is. That's what seems funny to me.
Interesting. Junpei bent down next to the corpse.
Alright, let's get back to the point. Who killed this man?
I don't know.
And what's this guy's deal? Who is he?
How would I know that? If I knew anything, I would have told you.
You have no idea who he is.
Why would I?
Junpei sat back on his haunches and
We
thought.
should check and see if he's got anything on him that might tell us who he is. Give me a hand here, Clover.
So they're gonna search the body even
We
closer?
gotta flip him over. How else are we gonna search his pockets?
Clover didn't move. Okay.
Fine. Guess I'll do it.
So we're jumping through this a lot faster than we would if this was our first ending.
Huh?
Something fell from the man's left wrist.
Hey, it's the...
So the watch falls off. We finally get it. The bracelet was 0 on the face.
Lastly, we have discussed how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. Your heartbeat reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or the paraxatic mirror's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
When it'd be a weird translation if this meant you just needed your heartbeat to be near the 0 bracelet, and it would take your bracelet off.
Oh God.
Junpei stared at the
This
bracelet.
man, he's dead, isn't he?
No duh.
No, it's just, I guess I didn't really think about it until right now. If his bracelet's off, that means he's dead.
Well, it's pretty obvious that he's dead. You don't really need to look at his bracelet to figure out that he's dead.
Yeah. I guess you're right. It is pretty obvious. Well, he looks a lot better than the other bodies we've seen, though. You know? I mean, if there wasn't all this blood, he'd almost look like he was still alive.
This is a terrible thing to say.
I mean, I know it's kind of a messed up thing to say, but he kind of has it better, you know? Dying from a bomb going off inside of you, I mean, that's just... Some of Snake's bones went right through his skin.
Like, Junpei, shut up.
I think the explosion must have thrown him against a wall or something. There was a broken bone just sticking out of his left arm.
This would be crazy if this turns out that, like, he didn't have bones in his left arm. He had a fake left arm. I mean, Snake could have done that. Could have had that, but that's really ridiculous.
And...
Suddenly Junpei realized what he was saying. How it could have been so cruel. He cupped his hand over his mouth. But it was already too late. He turned to look at Clover. She was glaring at him furiously. Now, she saw the body too, so she would have recognized that there was a broken bone in his left arm if he was missing a left arm or had an artificial left arm.
What did you just say?
I think they're seriously going to go down this path. Like, I've been suspecting that it might be a case that Snake was faking his death, but I didn't think for a second it was going to be discovered because he doesn't have a bone in his left arm.
Oh man, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I really don't know what I was thinking. I mean...
No, that's not what I'm talking about. What did you say about his arm?
So she apparently didn't look close enough to see his arm.
Arm?
Yes, his left arm. You said it, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I did, but... I mean, didn't you see it too?
Of course not. I could barely look at him. There's no way I was gonna see the details.
Clover took a quick, deep breath.
Are you sure it was his left arm?
Junpei thought back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
This would have been helpful if there was an actual image showing a broken left arm instead of just blood on the wall.
What the hell are you getting at here?
Just shut up and answer me.
She shoved her face closer to his. You could see the fire in her eyes. Junpei Winston swallowed.
Yeah, he did. It was pretty bad, too. The bone was sticking out of the arm.
No sooner were the words out of his mouth than Clover's expression changed.
Clover? What's wrong? Look, I'm sorry if I said anything.
Suddenly she was crying. Junpei wasn't sure what to do.
Thank you.
It's close to the last thing you expected to hear.
What are you...
So maybe it's not that Snake faked his death. Maybe it was that Zero grabbed Snake, the blind one, which would have been an easy one to grab, certainly, and put him in the coffin in the chapel in the 9 room. And that's the person we saw that was trapped in that coffin. I guess that's a possibility, but then on the submarine ending, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, we're 50-50 here, I guess. We either on the submarine ending, Snake decided to run around and kill everybody, including Clover, or the Zero is just a character we have not seen at all in any of the endings, and he was the one that killed everybody in the submarine ending, and Snake was just at that point still trapped in the coffin, which I guess that would make a little bit more sense. Remember, if we weren't in novel screen, if we were in adventure screen, we would not be seeing any of this backstory and this thought process.
Thank you so much, Junpei.
It would have gone from thank you to thank you so much, Junpei. She thanked him again, and then something strange happened. We get a custom art scene of Clover throwing herself into Junpei's surprised arms. We can see in the comparison again. Best case scenario, they're still trying to make Clover be 18. And Junpei, I guess, a lot older than that, several years older. Like in the middle of college, or just about to graduate college, or just out of college.
Hey, what's going on with you?
But yeah, if him and June actually were in elementary school at 10 years ago, assuming in Japan elementary school ends at about 6th grade, then that would put him at just about to graduate college, a 4-year college, or yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just, I'm so happy.
So it'd be really hard after this revelation to think that you could possibly end up with the axe murderer ending.
The body in the shower room, it isn't his. It isn't my brother.
But it had his clothes on, which Zero must have done that at some point, or Snake must have done that at some point.
It's not Snake.
Why on earth would you think that?
Because his left arm is... I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be talking about this.
Interesting. In the laboratory, a couple of both of the mannequins had their left arm were different, or yeah, so there might have been a hint in the laboratory to this idea, kind of a little bit of foreshadowing. It would be crazy if the story goes that Snake is not a human at all. So yeah, this might be a localization, a Japanese thing, that they're not even willing to say out loud that he lost his left arm, and it's artificial. Just dismemberment. Dismemberment is just such a taboo, but it kind of needs to be said out loud. And so Junpei is just going to agree with her and believe her.
But he's still alive. I'm so happy.
You really can't walk around with no bones in your arm. You can have metal replacing the bones in your arm, certainly. And one would assume if you snapped the metal replacement bones in your arm to the point where it's protruding from the skin, people would probably recognize that.
I'm so glad.
Like, this feels like a good path, and we might actually get a good ending here.
You were right.
Huh?
No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck.
It's crazy that the four-leaf clover bookmark is such an important item, but it kind of makes sense considering you don't really get any other items that are not in your inventory, and this item probably should be in your inventory. In fact, there should even probably be a button in the inventory that would allow you to trash some items and potentially end up with a game over. That would be annoying, certainly, but it would be kind of funny.
I only made it here because you gave me this.
Let's go into auto mode.
I was
This is
suspicious of
getting slow.
everybody, and I was angry and miserable. But because I had this four-leaf clover,
This is pretty bad writing.
said to me,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Junpei.
So 2 or 3 conversations is all it took to move her from ending up with the bad ending in which she's an axe murderer into being happy.
If you really want to thank somebody, you should be thanking Santa.
Santa? Why?
Well, he was the one who gave me that thing.
Interesting.
And the words for each leaf, I got that from him too.
Oh.
And suddenly, Clover broke away from Junpei.
Huh?
He looked confused. He hadn't thought she'd react that poorly. Clover began to pace across the room. So we're going to have more conversation here. And just different scenes of her. 6 steps to the left. 6 steps to the right. Another 6 to the left. And then she stopped.
Did Santa really tell you those things?
See, now the problem is if Santa and Seven didn't kill whoever was in the shower room, then who did? Her eyes were serious but not angry.
Yeah, he did. Did I say something wrong?
Oh no, not at all. In fact, this could be really good news, I think.
You think?
Santa knew about the words and the clover.
Yes.
The only people who should know about that are the other subjects.
So there's something about the bookmark and the words in the clover that proves Santa was also a kid that was kidnapped. Which really doesn't explain Ace, Junpei, or June. Still. Like, Yeah, that still doesn't make any sense unless somehow they're going to give us a story that both June and Junpei were also kidnapped and they just forgot completely about it.
Subjects?
The other people who were in the experiment 9 years ago, with my brother and me.
So the brother Snake was in the experiment also. Which I thought they were all the same age.
But he's blind. And I was part of the Nevada test group.
And apparently she knows pretty much everything about the experiments.
So neither of us would be able to recognize the faces of the people who were on this boat.
So they also are foreshadowing a whole second test group for a sequel.
Whoa. Okay, time out. Let's just calm down for a second, okay? Start from the top. Don't start with the end and then jump to the middle. You gotta start with 1 and then move to 2 and 3 and 4 and so on.
Flow-wise, we still haven't unlocked a key.
If you don't tell me stuff in the right order, I'm never gonna be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I'd like you to just tell me the whole story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, let's start with this experiment.
Like, we finally found a new interesting part. Unfortunately, it's been squished between many hours of boring and repetitive parts of the story.
What happened on this boat 9 years ago?
Extremely repetitive parts.
Do you know about morphogenetic fields?
Morphogenetic fields?
We have heard about that.
Alright, how about this?
So, Lotus seems to know about morphogenetic fields, but not realize that it was not know that because she worked on the experiments. At least that's the idea. Maybe she did know about the experiments though, and maybe she's hiding that fact.
Theory of the telepathic mechanism.
I think Lotus mentioned something like that.
So it just
Telepathy.
flashes back to that point.
Well, that's not really it, but I suppose it's similar.
So they were testing telepathy on this ship?
Yeah, I guess so.
So, what exactly did they have you guys do?
The same thing that we're doing now. Exactly the same thing.
So they were playing Nonary Games, and people were getting blown up and killed?
What?
The Nonary Game.
Why would nobody in their right mind tell the police about this though? That's insane. That is really insane.
9 people were put on this boat, and 9 others were put in the building in Nevada, and the game started.
Okay, so maybe there's this whole secondary game happening in Nevada, which would, assuming this is in Japanese waters, be on the other side of the world.
Look, I'm sorry, but I don't get it. What do the Nonary Game and some telepathy experiment have to do with each other?
Yeah, please explain.
Am I missing something here?
What had happened to her in Nevada?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things.
Yeah. See, the fact that Clover wouldn't tell people all about this at the very beginning is kind of crazy. The fact that they wouldn't tell authorities to avoid being put in a secondary Nonary Game as they now have is kind of crazy. So, yeah. This is hard to believe story as it reveals more things. It seems unrealistic.
The first is epiphany, and the other is danger. You know how sometimes when you're up against a really tough problem, and then the answer just kind of pops in your head?
Yep. I think that's probably how this game wanted to work. I'm not sure if this really is how the game actually works.
That's an epiphany.
Or if it only works that way in a couple of instances. It would have been nice if this game had an epiphany system where you could just jump through escape the room sequences, but then they've hidden all of the important conversations in the middle of the escape the room sequences, so you really couldn't do that.
And what you learn from the epiphany can be transmitted with telepathy. When you add danger to that equation, then it gets easier to transmit that information over telepathy.
So you're saying the Nonary game was supposed to introduce that element of danger?
Yeah, but it couldn't be just any old danger. It had to be life and death. And someone did actually die. A girl.
What's the name of the girl? Will that help any at all?
Huh.
She was on the boat with my brother. I was in Nevada. I never met her, but I did hear her name. Her name was...
Now, if this is June's actual name, that would be surprising. We don't get it. We don't get anything. Junpei spun around.
Oh, my apologies. I seem to have disturbed you.
Ace.
You two must have strong stomachs. I can't imagine how you could stay in this room for so long.
His bracelet is now off.
At any rate, Junpei, would you be so kind as to come and help me with something? I'm having a little trouble and I could really use your assistance. Come on, it'll only take a moment.
I don't want Ace to hear us. We can talk about this later.
Huh? Hey, wait!
Junpei, what are you doing in there? Hurry up!
So Ace seems to constantly be butting in. Alright, we're back to the game. Flow state. So that got us one key. Did we miss another? Or was that the only one we could get? Because it really, really feels like we should be succeeding at this point. Let's see. I'll try and find and click on anything. And all it really did was jump us back into the game. Let's see. Blank piece of paper. This drawer is locked. Headphones. Chair. See if we go back in here. See, the problem is you can't look at the ground. So while you can kind of jump between things, you can't kind of do anything else. And you can't choose to talk to people, which is a weird turn of events. You would think that would be the easiest way to have a game like this, is to just say you're going to have a conversation with people, and that is that. I think we should probably find a save point here, and we'll just save. Yeah, and there are 3 endings depicted, and the flow shows true endings. Yep. And as far as all of this, we just then combine this with this, and then we combine this with this, with that, and then we combine this with this, and then you have this Morse code, which, let's see, could this possibly in some way spell something? If it's read this way, which I don't think it is, could it spell Ace is the killer? I don't think so. Or if you even read it this way, could it spell that as Ace? No, I don't think so. Is there literally anything else we can do? Power is not on yet, so you can't. Is there anything else in this scene that you can even see? So plenty of space under the bed is another thing. Yeah, I'm trying everything, but I don't think there's anything else to do. So, yeah, unless there's something different here that you're supposed to type in, like dot 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 dash 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 dot 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 dash dash is too many for a letter, really, unless that's 0. But then E almost certainly is not 5 dots. And then dash dot 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 dash, yeah, is probably not R. And O is probably not dash dash dot dot. So we're gonna have more of a conversation now. We have had just like no interaction with Ace at all. And it does kind of make me wonder if how the Nonary games were played in the past, if the two teams from on the ship and in Nevada were psychically transmitting information and clues to each other to try and help each other solve different puzzles or the same puzzles, or was the place in Nevada pretty much exactly the same as the layout of this ship?
Looks like there's something on the cover.
This said Alice, didn't it? And there was that conversation about the Egyptian princess and Alice.
Allice.
All ice. So this should be the other part of this. Although how any of that works, I don't know. And I guess we'll probably have a point at some point where we just have to say, do we believe there's an Egyptian curse on this ship? Or do we believe that there's a weird scientific experiment on this ship? Or both, and somehow they're both connected? Because we've seen nothing that really connects those two threads at all.
All ice.
This is totally different, though.
Alice. Does this mean...
You had to know what was in the file. Each page was covered with strange characters. And I doubt anybody's going to be able to translate this. If they are, it's going to be a long time from now. They look like tiny drawings of birds, snakes, insects, horned animals, wings, and even kneeling humans. There are many pages in the file. Each was full of strange symbols.
What the hell is this?
So, like, the only thing you could kind of think is that maybe Alice somehow proved and knew about this telepathy concept, and that's why they were doing the experiments in the first place. Didn't realize he'd spoken out loud until Ace looked over at him.
They are hieroglyphs, a form of writing used in ancient Egypt.
Are we gonna get any more than that?
Ancient Egypt?
That's right.
Can you read them?
Of course. I can't. What would make you think I could?
What the hell? Whoa, the whole thing's like that.
Trying to read them was pointless. Junpei was gonna waste any more time with them. He made to close the file. And something fell out.
What's this?
Been down and picked it up.
Oh, a key card.
We get another key card. This one had a dot in the center of the male symbol.
Uranus. That's the Uranus symbol.
Yep. So, did we get all of the keys in this run through?
Something's written on the bottom.
I'm not sure.
Bottom deck library. This must be the key to the library then.
The bottom deck library would be a forest of knowledge, and they said that Alice's body was hidden in a forest of knowledge.
So it would seem.
So,
Bottom deck library. Oh.
Junpei remembered something he heard from Seven when they'd been in the chemical closet.
Seven said something like...
Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge beneath the navel of the gigantic.
Could beneath the navel mean the bottom deck? And the forest of knowledge is the library?
Seems logical.
Could Alice be in a room somewhere beyond the library?
What's wrong? Something on your mind?
So, apparently we're going to have both keys unlocked. Do you need both keys, or am I going to get a good ending and then potentially have to go back and get a bad ending? It would be probably nice if you managed to get the good ending for them to just unlock the bad endings, or at least make a better flow pattern. Like, it wouldn't be terrible if there were potentially 7 lines that were different color codes showing you go this way, go this way, go this way, go this way to get this ending. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I just remembered something.
Is that so? What about?
Well, don't laugh, okay?
So instead of Ace telling us something, we're going to tell Ace something, which at the end of the day, this might have been what Zero was looking for, he was trying to find Alice's body, and thus he puts a whole bunch of people in the Nonary game in the hope that they could telepathically get the information from that Nonary game participation, I guess. Although, yeah, I don't know if I fully believe that, but maybe. Then he stopped. It wouldn't make any sense if Ace didn't know who Alice was supposed to be. So he told Ace everything June had told him. So we have to go back and just recap everything that had been said.
Priestess and Ice 9. Interesting.
And the woman who wouldn't melt, who was recovered from the Titanic disaster, they called her All Ice, which eventually turned into Alice. And she was purchased by an English millionaire who called himself Lord Gordain. According to Seven, this ship is where he hid Alice.
And you think that he hid her in a small room beyond the library on the bottom deck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is just a theory.
Ace stared off in the distance, his hand slowly and absent-mindedly stroking his beard. After a few moments, his hand stopped. He turned slowly to Junpei, his brows drew together.
Junpei, have you ever heard of the term CAS?
No.
CAS?
It stands for Cells Alive System. It is an advanced technology for freezing and preserving organic matter.
Okay. So, at this point, we are up to the level of a Metal Gear Solid level of insane story. Japanese writers and storytellers do have a tendency of this. I attribute a lot of this creativity, for lack of a better descriptor, to the fact that for a brief time mushrooms were legal in Japan, and I think done quite a lot of artistic people did a lot of them, because you really are just running into a ton of conspiracy, a ton of different things that are somehow supposed to synergize in telling a story that is just unrealistic and it's convoluted. That's the word I guess I want to use. Yeah. I really would have told the writer here, if I was the director of this game, to say, let's just put more foreshadowing of kids being kidnapped and being experimented on. Let's not throw in a Cells Alive system. Let's not throw in a Ice 9 system. If we're going to throw those concepts in, they should just be red herrings that go nowhere and not synergize into the perfect route. I would kind of want more of a personal story, particularly for this game, because it is a personal story. You're trying to survive. You're trying to not die. You're trying to make June not die. You're trying to save as many people as you can. So getting distracted and having all these conversations and having these conversations be the thing that ends up giving you the ending feels very disassociated with doing the escape rooms, and it feels very disassociated from what the actual character, the player's character, is trying to do. Even now, we're having just a break from the escape room to have this conversation.
Put simply, it is a technique that allows one to freeze things without the formation of ice crystals.
There is no technology that I know of that will allow that to work perfectly. At least human cells, at the very least, that doesn't work. And human blood, it doesn't work. There is a technology that will create less ice crystals to form, but nothing that would stop it 100%. And that's why cryogenics has not worked, simply put, so far, is that if you freeze human blood, it creates crystals, and the crystals pierce the cell walls of the blood cells and break them. And thus, when you try to thaw the person back, they bleed to death, for lack of a better term.
Normally, if you freeze something fresh, water within its cells expands as it crystallizes, damaging the cell membrane.
It kind of sucks to be playing a game where I can't be the smartest person in the room either to explain something and then have the next sentence explain the thing I just said.
Gas, however, works differently.
I think if you take a sheet of aluminum and run like 10,000 volts through it, it creates very, very high frequency vibrations. And so if you, they've had some luck of like freezing roses and things that way by creating the high frequency vibrations while freezing them, and then when they thaw out they're not so damaged, or not damaged. But I don't think that technology evolved anywhere in the past decade or so to the point where they thought it would work on any normal human or animal. There probably are some cold-blooded creatures that can be frozen and they're perfectly fine, and some microscopic creatures that can be frozen and they're fine, but most large animals, no go.
The object to be frozen is super cool using magnetic fields, and then frozen instantly and uniformly, giving ice crystals no time to form.
I don't know how you super cool something using magnetic fields. And I don't know how you freeze something instantly and uniformly in 0 time.
It was originally developed for the preservation of food, as an alternative to the normal freezing process. Now, however, there are rumors that it can be used for other things.
What do you mean, other things?
Even if this caste system existed for real, it would be a modern technology and have nothing to do with Alice or all ice.
Well, there are obvious medical uses, but perhaps also space travel.
Space travel? Are you serious?
They seriously just had to throw in a sci-fi element, I guess.
Surely you've heard of suspended animation, cryogenic freezing?
And while it would be funny if you got an ending where it turned out everybody was actually in cryogenics and they were having some kind of telepathically connected dream, that would be a very disappointing true ending to this game.
It's a fairly common idea in science fiction books and films. People are sometimes frozen for especially lengthy journeys through space.
Whoa, wait a minute there. Are you saying that Alice was frozen using that cast thing?
Well, I'm sure the possibility is quite low, but it is a possibility.
How is it a possibility? At this point, you would have to either believe in a conspiracy theory of an ancient, hyper-technological society of humans or some other species existing and freezing Alice way in the past, or you believe that there's like ancient aliens that are from outer space that had that technology and froze Alice. Neither one of those are appealing concepts to immediately grasp onto and think even have a realistic possibility of happening. If anything, I would find it much more believable that somehow Alice naturally froze with Ice 9. People studied Alice and developed the cast technology from Ice 9.
If the special ice you call Ice 9 does indeed exist, and casts were used to freeze her into that sort of ice instantaneously.
You think she could be alive?
Yeah, they were really bending over backwards to say she might be alive.
Well, I can't say for sure, of course.
When I don't think they really needed to throw that out as a concept, because it would have been just as shocking if we actually do find Alice and then she magically thaws out and it starts moving.
I'm I'm only talking about possibilities. The melting point for Ice 9 is 96 degrees, right? If she were put somewhere where she could reach that temperature...
That's nuts. Are you really saying she could have defrosted and started walking about?
It would be funny if she was the killer, but I don't know why she would be the killer.
You're quite right. It does sound unbelievable. But if she had, then we would have an explanation for the man we found dead on the floor.
Why would she kill the captain?
You mean the guy dressed like a captain?
Yes.
Still haven't gotten that second key, but I think we are going to get it.
He was dead when we found him. Clearly, he was murdered.
If that guy was the Lord and he was still alive, or if he had frozen himself at some point, yeah, I don't really get the idea there.
But if he was murdered, then by whom?
I feel like Ace is just trying to hide the fact that he's
It
Zero.
couldn't have been one of us. That would be impossible.
It's totally possible. Ace could have killed this guy before everybody woke up hours ago.
In order to enter the captain's quarters, one must first open door 1.
Did we even... Like, but Zero could be messing with all of the scanners, or Ace could have not activated any of the doors or closed any of the doors before he killed this guy. And let's see, Ace plus the 9 bracelet would be 10, and that would be door 1. So if he had the 9 bracelet and the 1 bracelet and the 0 bracelet, he could open door 1.
That door that requires the Earth key prevented us from accessing door 1.
He's making a good argument, but there's nothing to say that there isn't some other shortcut, or that these doors were just not locked at some point.
Who was it that opened that door?
Santa and Lotus.
So Santa and Lotus opened it with the Earth key. That would have been a 8 and 3, which would be a digital root of 2. And so then they would need 8 and 3 and 9, which would be a digital root of 2. So, yeah.
Right. Clearly, the two of them could not have opened door 1, or any other door for that matter. Who else then could have done so?
Nobody. After Santa and Lotus used the Earth key, they turned back and met up with me and June. Then we returned to the large hospital room and found Ace, Seven, and Clover.
Somebody could have had the 2 bracelet, though. If they've killed Snake. And hidden his body somewhere else. Yeah, I don't even really want to run the numbers.
While we'd gone into the shower room, Ace, Seven, and Clover had stayed behind. But it's impossible for those 3 to open door 1. What about when June and I took the elevator to door 2? No, still won't work. We were only gone 5 minutes. No human being could have run to the captain's quarters and killed that guy in there and run back that fast.
It would be impossible for any of us to be the murderer.
This is what Ace has been trying to push forward the whole time as a
That
thought.
being the case, who could have killed him? Wouldn't it make sense if his killer was someone who had been in the ship for some time? A person like that would know the ship well. They would know the locations of all the hidden passages and secret doors.
We haven't seen any hidden passages or secret doors at all.
The numbered door would mean nothing to someone like that. It would be a simple thing for them to enter the captain's quarters.
Yeah, he's really pushing it at this point.
Then you're saying the killer was Alice?
It is tempting, certainly, and very Japanese in mentality, I would guess, to blame the outsider of the group. But I don't buy it.
Well, this is all only one possible theory.
All ice. Alice. Is she really somewhere on the ship? Maybe this card will give me access to the Forest of Knowledge. And the big mystery. What could be there beyond the Forest of Knowledge?
Wouldn't it be funny if Lotus was actually Alice? I guess that would explain her outfit a lot more. But then it would bring about a lot of questions. Certainly about how Lotus would even be speaking Japanese or English.
Anyway, whatever. It's gonna have to wait. I can't do anything right now. I'll come back to this later.
Would explain her outfit quite a bit. Some new material has been added to the file screen. Let's see, what have we got over here? Information about Alice and the number system. Did we unlock both keys? Yes, we did. Okay. For better or worse, we've unlocked everything. Now we have this unique key. And I don't think there's anything more to do here because there's kind of nothing to click on. Just a lot of coat hanger hooks. And I don't think that there's a... You know, we just have this and this. And you can't give items to people to have them look at it. Okay. So here we go. Let's run through this again. And maybe I even have my notes still from the first time I did this. That would be super lucky. Otherwise, I got some numbers here. 43, 56, 65, 43. Nah, that can't be right. That can't be right at all. These numbers must be something else. Hopefully, I don't think that was a phone number. Alright, let's just start with 0 then. So, a 26 plus 5 plus 9 would be, let's see, well, 26 plus 9 would be 35, right? And I have another number here that's 34. And then E would be A, B, C, D, E. That'd be 5 plus 9, which would be 14. So I'm saying 35 26 plus 9 would be 35. E would be 14. Then R would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. So 17 plus 9 at that point would be 26. And then A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. And that would be 15 plus 9, which would be 24. Is that the system that's supposed to be here? Let's just try this and see if this works then. We'll go 35, 14, 26, 24. Okay. Alright, let's look at the files. Numerical system chart says 10 is written as A in hexadecimal. 11 would be B. So what number did I get wrong? Let's see. 26 starting with 10 being A might mean that it's 36. We could try and bump all these numbers, I guess. But you know what I think I'll do is I'll just try this. I have a second number here. Let's just try this. 34, 56, 35, 43. Okay. Right, we'll go one number up. 36, 15, 27, 25. Feel like I probably just miscounted something here. Hey Junpei, didn't you find the list of numbers and letters? Don't you think that might be a clue, huh? Alright. Let's just think about this again. So A would be 10, B would be 11, C would be 12, D would be 13, and E would be 14. Okay. So either I got the R wrong. Let's see, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Obviously I don't have the numbers of the letters of the alphabet memorized. I should at this point. F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. That would be 18. So 18 plus 9 would be 27. Okay, so maybe I was one off, and that's the problem. There's a big enough opportunity here to screw up. 35, 14, 20, let's see, 35, 14, 27, 24. So I was just one off. And you know what? I'm going to just label this as Captain's Room, since I already had that typed in and on my phone. Might as well have just done some better documentation there. Good job, Junpei. And I think I just want to power through and let's see what the ending this is, even if it is the good ending. And then we'll start to think about what we would need to do for a bad ending. See, yeah, I don't know how you get the bad ending here, perhaps with the axe. Yeah, I don't know how you get the axe bad ending after the point where you proved to Clover that Snake wasn't actually dead. Yeah, that would be weird. If anything, I might be getting the bad ending here simply because I've split the difference. Like, this seems like this door is unlocked now. But maybe the whole all ice part of this story doesn't matter, and maybe that's what's going to give us the bad ending. We shouldn't have gotten that. But it kind of feels like you needed all of that to unlock this door and this ending. So we're going to have to pay attention to this ending to see if that matters or not. And then we know there's like 7 endings, so it kind of feels like there might be multiple ending here and a multiple ending here and a multiple ending here, where the door, you're given just like different choices depending on something that happens there. Or maybe, I don't know. Let's just move forward. So what we don't expect to see here, though, is that we don't expect to see Clover staying behind, grabbing the bracelet, and grabbing the axe. She may grab the bracelet. She may have already grabbed the bracelet, but I don't think she'll grab the axe, and I don't think she'll end up as the axe killer. This is the same stuff.
That's the next door. Wait, a piece of paper.
You get the map.
This is map of the ship's interior for ADEC.
What's wrong?
So, I guess the question might be, is there something in some of these maps that would reveal something? I don't think so.
I found a map for this floor.
I see.
This is a weird conversation. It just says, I see.
Anticlimactic. I should keep this, though. Hey, where's Clover? Damn it. What the hell is she up to?
Junpei muttered angrily under his breath and took off back to where the way he'd come. As he stumped around the corner, he saw her. It'd be funny if she was dead. She was standing in front of the door at the cabin's quarter, hands on the doorknob.
Clover!
Huh?
So if she still has the stick behind her back, as in the axe,
What the hell are you doing?
that's weird.
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing? What the hell is that?
What?
You've got something in your pocket.
It's just like
What
the
is it?
same conversation.
Oh, this? This is a note.
A note. That's different.
A note?
Yeah, I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes.
So this is different.
It said something about the darkness of the sinister hand or something.
What the hell? Let me see it.
So we do get a different
No,
outcome.
not right.
Junpei wasn't going to get to see it. From the other end of the hall, we heard Ace's voice.
Hey, Clover! What are you two doing? Hurry up!
As a very long distance voice line.
He's getting mad.
Clover
I'll
shrugged.
show it to you later, all right?
Hmm.
Come on, we gotta hurry.
Note to note. Junpei was curious, but then there was something else that bothered
From
him.
the look of that pocket, it doesn't particularly look like just a note. Jeez, what are you thinking? For crying out loud.
So you get a different, slightly different story there. Still kind of questionable though if this is somehow going to give us the good ending.
Stairs.
It feels like
This
it
is where
might,
ends up.
but then it also feels like the ending won't be very satisfactory.
Just like it says on the map.
And I would say it does kind of feel like there's no funneling agent that would have put the player down this central path as many times as it seems like you probably should go down this path. Unless there is some other path somewhere that unlocks after we get all the other endings. Because it kind of feels like you should 2 or 3 times by accident end up in this central path, and it should be harder to get to the left and right path, and it really isn't. It makes the game feel a little too simplistic and a little too easy. Let's see. The big stairs. So that's where it ends up. It's just like that. It says on the map. It was just what he expected after reading it. His IC after reading the map himself meant that Ace probably had realized the same thing.
Ace, did he head down?
Put his hands on the handrail and leaned over to look down.
Oh, there he is.
Look, the 4 others are there too.
Not just Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus as well.
Really?
Let's join them.
Junpei and Clover glanced at each other and hurried down the stairs. They reached B deck at the same time.
Jumpy, Clover.
And see, you would be tempted to skip this, but I don't want to skip this just in case there's something new.
We found it.
Found what?
We found it.
What did you find?
The last door. We found door 9.
What?
So, somebody always finds door 9.
Come on, just follow us. We'll explain on the way.
Okay.
What would be funny in a story like this is if everybody else escapes and you decide to stay back and continue investigating, or everybody dies and halfway through the story and then you just continue investigating.
Well,
That would
that's the case.
totally change the feeling of the game.
Wait for me.
So could it be that Lotus is Alice? I mean, it's somewhat believable.
We should get going as well.
Jumpy, we finally made it.
It's finally time.
See, what's funny though, at this point, I think Clover would probably make the argument that she wants to go through the number 3 door, which would take you on this right path, because now she knows or thinks Snake is alive, and that would be the only door that she hasn't been through so far, or nobody's been through.
We've reached the end.
It does kind of feel like we are just going to get an abrupt death ending again, like we have in the other endings.
Only 3 to 5 people can go through the numbered door. 7 of us are on our way to door 9. That means that, best case scenario, there will be 2 of us who have to stay behind.
Yeah, and Junpei is just not capable of grasping the concept that the Zero bracelet might work. I kind of wish the game would prove that it doesn't work, so I as the player don't have to consider that as an option.
2 people. Is there a way? 4:30. We've only got 90 minutes left. I've got no time to wonder about it now.
Hey, Junpei! June! What the hell are you two doing? Hurry it up!
Let's go, Jumpy!
Yeah.
I would say this central conversation happens in a lot of the endings, and probably could have been moved so it wasn't repeated so often. But I don't know how easy that would be. It'd probably be pretty hard for the author to do that. I think the problem here is that the branching paths merge back together when it would have felt less repetitive if the branching paths always branched to new paths and always took you somewhere completely different.
I know I told you I'd explain it earlier, but honestly, there ain't much to explain. After we split off from you guys, the 4 of us got into the elevator on the left, and it took us to the other side of the grate. After that, we headed down another hallway. It took us toward the bow, and eventually to the number 6 that you two found earlier. We opened it and kept going. There was another locked door behind it, like usual, but this time we had to complete 2 different areas before we could unlock it. Once we were through that door, there was another hallway that went the other direction, toward the stern.
So, on your way, you found the elevator.
That's right.
Yep.
So, in other words, you kinda did a lap, huh?
And we'll see this content again. We're trying to get the other ending.
Yeah.
So it's rather repetitive to be told about this part when you've already seen it once.
So, where's the number 9 door?
Over here. Follow me.
By the way, you know, it's because of Santa that we're all here right now.
This looks like this is new storyline.
Huh?
That all 7 of us are going to door 9.
What?
You don't get it? Santa, 7, and Lotus. What's their digital root?
9.
9. It's 9.
That's right. They could have just left me behind and kept going if they'd wanted to.
But they chose not to. Interesting.
But they didn't.
Yes, because Santa wouldn't let them.
So Santa not getting a lot of personality attributed to him, other than he plays baccarat and maybe gambles and was apparently a test subject also.
He said, we can't leave June and the others behind.
It's a little surprising if he was in a Nonary game before, but that also kind of implies that he already knows the twist of the Nonary games, unless this plays out differently than the original ones 9 years ago.
That's why we went looking for you guys.
on the elevator and went back to the central staircase.
That's right.
Well, I wouldn't have called that one. That Santa would be the one to stick up for you.
I think you should have at least the decency to have everybody near the number 9 door. Even if it means you know where their bodies are when the ship sinks. Instead of just leaving them completely.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't mean that Seven and Lotus said they wanted to leave me behind. We were just talking about it, and Santa objected to it first.
Is that so?
So, who will be in the coffin? Or will this be an escape room at all?
So, is this...
Yeah.
There's no other place for us to go.
Nope. Just look around. There's a big old iron wall at the end of the hallway. The other hallways on the left and right are blocked by metal grates.
I see.
All right, let's get moving.
I kind of don't even want there to be a puzzle in this room. Like, I'm not really itching to play yet another escape room. And it doesn't look like there's too much in here, really, for a puzzle.
The 9 door.
So at this point, I guess is when they find the other 9 door.
We're finally here. No doubt about it. Oh, finally.
I think
This is the
we've
last.
already seen this.
Junpei, look behind you.
So Santa, I guess, sees it. Turn around.
What? Why? A door and a 9. There's another one. Hey, what the hell? What the hell is going on here?
Is there something to the math, I wonder, that would force Snake to have to be kidnapped and put here in the coffin? Maybe.
There's a red there too. That means... And of course it won't open. But why? Why the hell are there 2 doors?
It was Ace who spoke first.
Do you think perhaps one is the right door and the other is the wrong one?
Maybe.
I don't know about that. It seems unlikely.
What makes you say so?
None of the other puzzles have worked that way.
Well, think about all the rooms we've been through so far. They're full of puzzles, but there are always hints about how to solve them. I'm pretty sure there aren't any rooms where we just had to go with our best guess and leave it to instinct to solve the puzzle. Do you really think that at the very end of the game, Zero's going to suddenly throw in something that depends entirely on luck?
One would hope not.
Then you're saying there's some sort of hint in this room.
No, I don't think there's a hint anywhere in here. I searched it very well when I was in here before.
Okay, she searched it very well, and she didn't see the coffin or hear the person in the coffin.
I didn't find anything that might have been a hint, though.
Well then, that means...
Yeah, both of these are the right door. I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Junpei began to mutter to
So if there
himself.
are 2 number 9 doors. If we split it up right,
That's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. I don't even want to do the math here, but I think it probably would work if they went back and got the 9 door, but without the 9 bracelet, could you run the math and split these two groups up with just a 0 bracelet or without the 0 bracelet?
You've got a notebook and a pen, right? Can I borrow them?
So she's gonna write down the numbers for us again.
Look at this. You get it?
Regardless of what group you go with, there will always be a group with a digital root of there will be a group that adds up to 16, and if you added a 9 to it, it would be 25. So either way, that gives you a digital root of 7. It's only, I don't get it. I don't get why this doesn't add up. Oh, because they're not adding the 2 number. If they find Snake right now, then it would be a group of 4 and a group of 4. So all we have to really do is find Snake in the coffin, and we all survive, I guess.
The numbers on the top
And the 9 and the 0
with digital roots of 9.
bracelets
The numbers
don't
on the
matter.
bottom are the people who don't fit. There's only 8 possibilities if we split up into 2 groups of 3 or 4 people. So...
Somebody either really ran the numbers here, or this isn't actually true.
4 are left behind.
Like, who's gonna really do the math to double check them? I'm not.
If 4 go through, then 3 are left behind, right?
Yeah. No way.
I guess the real question, though, is, was the number 2 bracelet on Snake or on the fake Snake body? Or both? Could they go back and get that bracelet?
Come to think of it. What is this room? It looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony.
Again,
What kind?
is this some kind of Egyptian ceremony that's supposed to be happening here? Honestly, I would have just attributed it to a chapel for like a Christian religion. It looks like there's crosses on the sides of the pews,
Is that an altar?
but there are some weird symbols on the flags that look more astrological. So maybe this is more of an Egyptian or magical or astrological church, for lack of a better term. So June does not mention the coffin, and yet she said she searched the room thoroughly. A coffin.
A coffin?
So he thinks Alice will be in there.
No, it couldn't possibly be.
But if it wasn't, then whose body occupied it? That was as far as Junpei wanted to pursue that line of thought. He decided not to think about a coffin for the time being. A few moments, Seven spoke. There was an edge of humor in his voice, but it was forced.
Okay, I give up. I give up. I figured if we sat around here long enough, someone would volunteer. But I guess nobody's got the guts to do it.
What are you talking about?
What? You guys didn't figure it out yet? Fine, fine. Let me enlighten you. Clover was mostly right with her little explanation earlier, but she missed something. She wasn't really wrong. She just... screw it. Let me just write it out.
So he then writes more numbers. I think you could probably see the problem with writing a visual novel video game in which the characters have to write down solutions to puzzles to explain it to even the other characters. At that point, you've made it too complicated, and there should have been a lot of establishing puzzles to make people really have their mindset locked into the digital root concept, and to the point where they can just calculate it at the first thought without even having to try. That's something that the Witness game, I think, did very well. The game called The Witness, because you start off with very simple puzzles and you just iterate on it and you keep practicing on it and you keep learning things, and then sometimes it'll throw in a new concept and then combine two concepts, but you're pretty much an expert on doing the puzzles in the game The Witness by the time you're done playing your first playthrough of The Witness. Whereas I am in no way an expert on doing these digital routes after playing this game several times, in part, just because none of the puzzles really actually center around the digital routes. Not at all. And they're not even easier allegories for doing the digital routes.
If you're trying to leave with a group of 3 and a group of 4 and get everybody out, Clover's right. But there's another way. Only one combination, though. If you split us up into groups of 3, 3, and 1, you can make this combination.
Wait, this means...
Everybody except for Seven can escape.
Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to copy Ace or anything like that. Even if he hadn't been the hero back in the big hospital room, I'd still be saying the same thing.
The same thing? Are you saying?
Yeah, I am. I'll stay behind.
This is still way better of an ending than any of the other endings. It'd be funny if Lotus actually said something very nice to Seven at this point.
Why are you acting so heroic all of a sudden? Are you some kind of idiot?
Yeah. That was also a possibility, I suppose.
No, I'm completely against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have to owe you for getting out of here.
I'm against it too. I didn't want to leave Ace behind, and I don't want to leave you either. I don't like that idea. There's gotta be other options.
I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero.
This is funny because everybody's going to disagree.
Well, there you go, Seven. Proposal denied. Clover's right. There's gotta be a better way than this.
Doesn't make any sense.
They have 90 minutes to figure it out.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I haven't said anything yet.
Santa didn't say anything. Until then, Junpei hadn't realized that Santa had stayed quiet for the whole discussion of Seven's fate. Something in his voice made Junpei uncomfortable. This would be crazy if this is a bad ending in which Santa somehow kills everybody.
Are you agreeing? You want to leave him here?
Nah, I'm against it. I don't want to leave Seven here alone.
Then I don't see how it matters.
I said alone.
2 people are going to stay behind.
I said I don't want to leave Seven alone.
What the hell are you?
Is this getting translated poorly? We're going to go late today, obviously. Is this the idea that Santa knows that 7 is actually 0 and the killer, and he's trying to imply to everybody without saying it straight out that 7 is the killer?
What? You don't get it? I can't leave just one person. I need 2 more.
I need 2 more.
3 people, including 7. I'll be leaving behind 3 people. That's my proposal. No. Those are my orders.
Orders.
What do you mean, orders? What the hell makes you think you can order us around? Who the hell's gonna listen to you?
You all will. In 3 seconds, you won't have a choice.
What?
3, 2, 1.
Santa was so fast Junpei could barely see him. When he moved, it was almost like watching a dance. His feet moving like lightning. He spun and he pulled out the gun. Interesting. And he had June. So this is weird if it turns out that Santa is 0. I mean, we didn't have a lot of backstory on Santa, so it's somewhat believable, and he certainly is drawn as an anime bad guy character, but unfortunately the anime hero characters often are drawn that way too.
See? I told you.
His lips curled into a cruel, mocking smile.
What?
See, if he really was 0, I don't know why he would have needed the gun, and at least we now know what happens with the gun in some endings. His chest froze. As you could see, feel his breath go still in his lungs. Nothing made sense. Junpei felt as though his head was about to explode. Santa's sudden change in attitude, saying that he needed 2 more. The gun is in his right hand, a revolver. Santa had grabbed June from behind and pressed what Junpei's shaken brain identified as a revolver roughly against her temple.
Why?
Yes, why?
What the hell is that?
Where on earth had Santa possibly found the gun? Why does he want 3 people left behind?
The gun's from the other room.
What room?
One of the rooms behind door 6. I should have known he was gonna do this.
So the gun
The gun.
may be the key to opening the coffin behind him.
Well, it's too late now, fat ass.
Damn it.
So it almost feels like this is going to reveal that Santa and 7 did kill Snake somehow. He walked backward, dragging June with him. For long, his back was resting against the door. On the wall next to him was the red. Put his hand on the scanner quickly, then forced June to do the same. So,
Now, time for you to start following my orders.
so he wants people to not follow him because he can't control more than 2 people with a gun, he'll get rushed. So you have 6 and 3. So he now needs somebody that would add up in some way to 18, which would have to be the 9 bracelet, and that doesn't work. So he's gonna have to have 2 more people.
Ace, Lotus, congratulations. I've chosen you to come with me. Put your hands in the red. Hey, you deaf? I gave you an order. Right, fine. I didn't want to waste any bullets, but you guys just don't get it.
So is he gonna just shoot June at this point? No, because if she does that, then it might blow him up too. I guess he didn't shoot her.
He really shot it?
So it is a real gun and it really does work. I'm glad the game actually just established that.
Santa, why are you... Santa, I thought you were one of us. I thought we were friends.
What?
You knew about the leaf words and the four-leaf clover.
Santa's cheek twitched almost
What
imperceptibly.
the hell is that shit? I've got no idea.
You're lying.
Shut up. Just shut up, you stupid bitch.
Back to the cussing.
Bullet in your fucking head?
I forgot about the whole how much he cussed.
Santa.
So remember, we also saw that he had a sister. So what his sister must have been the girl that died in the experiments.
Alright, assholes. What are you still standing there for? Get over here and scan those bracelets. I don't have all day. Oh, what's the matter? Your hearing's starting to go? Going senile, maybe?
A lot of dialogue here. And I guess, again, if you were just in adventure mode, it would just be the text and it would move faster. But then you miss a lot, too. It's nothing they needed to do. Therefore, there was nothing to debate. June's safety was first priority. That much was obvious. Doing as Santa had commanded meant that she would be safe for from at least 2 threats. She wouldn't be shot and she would leave the ship alive, along with Santa, Ace, and Lotus. There's only one thing for Junpei to do.
It's the only way.
So Junpei is going to do what? Return to Ace and Lotus?
Please, go.
Tells him to go.
Huh?
No way.
Jumpy, what are you saying? If you stay here, you're going to be stuck, Jumpy. And so will Clover and Seven.
I know. But you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out. Right, Seven?
Right. You just leave it to us. It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but...
Don't worry about me either. There's still something I have to take care of. No, you can't! Ace, Lotus, don't come over! Don't worry about
This
me,
really
please.
feels like it is going to leave a lot more gameplay after this point. Because if they can get Snake, the remaining group
Please.
could still escape.
Go.
all right.
Fine.
Yeah, they're kind of stretching it out. Trying to make it more dramatic. And what would be funny is if they go through that door and it turns out that that is just the wrong door.
Alright, now let's get those hands on the scanner panel. What's the whole... What? You think I'm fucking around here? I don't give a shit about this girl. The red doesn't need a person, you know? All I need is the bracelet. You get it? Good. Now put your fucking hands on the scanner. I'm not gonna say it again.
Fine.
Good job. Now, Lotus, pull that lever. As soon as the door opens, you get your ass in there.
So the question, I guess, is when they get through that door, will that door just be labeled as occupied forever
Try anything stupid, and you know what happens, right?
instead of being vacant right now? At the very least, you'd think the other group would be able to look through that section.
Good. Go.
6, 7, 8, 9. And the doors close. You'd want them to check the red and see if it says occupied or if it says vacant. Come on, we want to get to the end here, but this is really stretching things. If we leave this room and we don't just get Snake out of the coffin, then we'll have to end this recording at that point. Because, yeah, it doesn't seem like that's the case. But this is going long. He stood in front of it and looked at the red. It says engaged, not occupied. Sorry. Move to the smaller door. It says vacant. 7. All they need is the bracelet of Snake, or 2 bracelet in general.
June.
Akane Kurashiki. Keep on getting bits of what's happening in his head. A lot more of this should be verbalized.
So,
honestly.
What do you want to do, Junpei?
What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do?
And I guess the idea is that they just had to be in the room long enough, and nobody was in the room long enough in any of the instances to hear the pounding. It was certainly human. Junpei and Seven looked at one another.
What the hell is that?
Shh, quiet.
Remember, they said that Snake had really good hearing, so he should have been able to hear these people if he was awake well before this point and start pounding.
Where is it coming from? Could it be?
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
You're right.
Let's open it.
But how?
What are those muscles for show?
You're telling me to force it open?
Just shut up and try.
See, if this is a number you have to put in, this is gonna really suck, because I don't want to have to run around and find another puzzle.
Damn it.
And find an answer. Some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. It is purpose would not have been difficult to determine. The eyes were almost immediately drawn to it.
One.
Yeah, looks like it.
Do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open?
I think so.
So we might just be getting the bad ending here because we don't have the right code.
Whoever or whatever's inside this thing wants out, and now.
I know that. But how?
Without a passcode, I don't think there's much we can do.
Couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to be.
Well, let's look for one.
Unfortunately, they did not seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the pews and Seven investigated the desk, but they turned up nothing. Really just feels like this was an escape room that wasn't finished.
Not making this easy, are they?
He's banging 5 times. Let's just put in the number 9.
What am I supposed to do? How can we figure it out? I need something.
Quite the animation here. To be continued. Interesting. To get an ending like that. So just to... That's a weird ending, certainly. Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. Actually, I'm Santa. This is a fully animated credit sequence. Now it is time to let our game begin. Okay, so that's crazy. That is different. We got the coffin ending. And apparently you cannot get this ending with that door unlocked unless you find something else out. Okay. Well, that kind of sucks. Is there possibly any reason to want to go over and do this ending and try and see if this ending would be different? I don't think so. I think we unlocked one part of the key, the code, by getting to this point. And we need to unlock the other part of the code to get to this point. And this will probably be a bad ending or a medium ending. Some of these endings clearly are just medium endings. And after we get this done, I am hoping then we can kind of fast forward to this point and put in a code and figure it out. But we may have to just replay the game and try as fast as possible. Honestly, what I think will happen is we'll go to this point and then down this point and then down this point and then down this point and get to this point. And then at that point, I think I need to look at a walkthrough just to be certain, because it's not really worth the extra hour and a half of time to try and play all the way back to this and then get the same ending because I've missed some other element. No other keys seem to be unlocking. Nothing else seems to be happening. If we go to all skip here and rewind back to this point, let's see. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we can say different answers still. But that answer, for instance, was just wrong. And then we go through 5. Then we'll skip all of that. That was not a good ending, per se, to have anything to do with the the princess, or to have anything to do with the Ice Nine, or the experiments, or the telepathy, or any of that. And I don't think any of this is going to be new content or new conversations, but we'll see. Just a lot of skipping here. We'll have to do this all again. And remember, this was the room in particular that had the locked in a vault section. There was a vault. And let's see, flow. That opens that key. So could we possibly then just skip everything straight down to this part? That might be it. In the next recording, we'll see if we can do that. We'll make a nice little save file here, and then we're in a good position, I think, to see if we can just kind of skip everything and not have to have any conversations. Although it probably would be smarter to just keep on playing. Yeah, because I'm opening myself up certainly to a possibility that to get the good ending on the far left, you have to have made every single dialogue choice in the game, regardless of how unimportant the dialogue choices seem to be. And there is a possibility that since I've skipped around, I have missed some dialogue choices. There might also be a possibility that there are some keys on this path that I just didn't ever find. It's a little unbelievable. And there is clearly a dialogue choice here that unlocks, and we would have to play that part, I think. So yeah, I don't think I really want to skip. I think we're gonna just have to run through this a second time. Well, that's gonna be it for this recording. We probably went really long. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.